morning. I would like to give an update on my succulents because they seem to be doing moderately. So, let's get into it. This one right here was a really pretty purple, a lot like up here at the stalk when I bought it, and it has turned more green, blue-ish, and has a pretty little spider living in it. But this one flower stalk that I had that was blooming when I bought it, which I should totally cut off now, bloomed and it was beautiful. And now we have another stalk coming up, and honestly I don't know enough about them to know if it's another flower or a baby. But it's pretty cool. A bunch of the other little sticky things were just from a bulk thing that I had bought that I've just been taking like fillers out of. And then this seems to be doing really well. It was very leggy when I bought it, as you can see, and I've been giving it enough sun. It's also started getting these little red areas on the tips, which also means it's getting enough sun, I'm assuming. And what's really interesting is how much some of these plants change when they get enough sun. For example, these next ones right here, these and these, tend to also get red on the edges when they get enough sun. But this one, the red on its edges, means it's not happy. So I'm going to have to figure something out about that. And as I go, I'm learning, and I'm learning which plants do well in certain areas and which ones do terribly in other areas. Some need more water, some need less water, some need more light, some don't need as much. They are all very much sun-loving plants, though. So next, we have this little forest. Adam likes to call it a forest. These little thingies, the fillers, they got really, really tall, and I believe most of these were green when I put them in there, those tall burgundy little ones. So they've gotten a lot more sun out here, and these are growing up real nice and tall. I have a big plant of that in my rack. This one here, and this one right next to it, this one and this one, were both green when I put them in. And I believe there was another plant right there in that hole you see there that probably just went the way of this one, so I just pulled it out. They were both green when I put them in there, and with a bunch of sun, this one turned a nice purpley, and that one next to it I believe is like a California sunset or something, and it turns a nice limey green without enough sun. It's really pretty itself, but then with sun it gets like this orangey, and I see almost some peachy colors in there. It's really neat. These are just, let's see if I can get to focus. These are just some little ones I have bopping around waiting for their place. This one I've really been trying to get back to life, but it goes back and forth. These are a bunch of the flower top parts of them. I don't really know what to call them, rosettes or something. And these are ones that I've had to cut off of a rotting stem, or new ones that have grown on a stem that I've cut off of and let the rest of the plant thrive as is. And these will create roots, and a lot of them already have. Some of them are not doing so well, like that little guy right there. I don't know if I'm even zooming in right. Right there, that guy. But he's doing better than I thought it would. That's from over here on this thing. One of these right there. At one point I had some of those in another pot, and they were just extremely unhappy. They were just like waterlogged. It was terrible. Next, I'm gonna have to go around this way. Next is one of my favorite groupings. I have an aloe in here. I have a bunch of those sprigs from that big box of filler that I bought, and you can see I also added a twig that I had accidentally spray painted when I was spray painting my rack. But the aloe is going crazy. It's got a little baby right all the way, where am I? Right all the way in there. Starting up, and this one was a baby like weeks ago. Amazing. And then I believe this is just simply a chicken hen deal. But I planted it in a seashell and it worked out really well. This was from something I planted up for Mom, and I had one lone one that had fallen out after I had planted it. So I just stuck it in the rocks there, and it's definitely established now. This is why this pot is so cool. Everything that I put in here does so well. This awesome hanging, oh, and look, it's dry, so it's losing some. This awesome hanging drapey one is really neat, and actually I thought that these two, were very similar. They're both sedums. This seems to be a draper. This seems to be something that gives like just cover. So that was really interesting to learn. Let's see, next I have, this one's not doing so well. This is a very popular and rare, not that rare, but like, you know, popular, and people are like, oh, I want one of them. It's called like a Black Prince or something like that. And he's not always doing so well. He goes back and forth also, and then these things kind of just whatever. They're like breaking off. This, I'm not sure what's going on with it. It's got like bumpalies or something, and I don't know what that's about. And I just missed a call, so I'll be back. Okay, and here we are back again. I got a phone call from my mom. She's keeping Katie at her house until about 1 o'clock. So I have a few more hours to get stuff done, so I didn't have to rush through much at all. So after I got off the phone with my mom, well, right as I was getting off the phone with her, I was trying to step through to I don't know what I was doing. I should have walked around. I was just in conversation and whatever, wasn't thinking. And I've done this about 1,000,000 times in the past few days since I moved these in here, since we had a whole bunch of rain. And I totally just dumped this one all over the floor. And I did end up finding some little dead guys that were shriveled up from when they got a swim when it was raining. So a lot of these that weren't already established as actually growing little babies pretty much died over the past few days, which is whatever, because they're pretty much free plants. So as you can see, some of these, let's see if I can zoom in, have little babies growing off of them. 1, 2, 3 right there. There's another one right there. And then others just have roots or little buds kind of coming off of them. These are a little covered in a little bit of dirt still from when they were soaking wet, but if I can show you those little babies there, one over there, another one over here, and that might be it. A lot of them have roots, like you can see their roots right there. Those need to be planted in some dirt pretty soon. And then this one over here, let's see, we have some of those little babies there, another baby right there, again covered in dirt, another baby right there, but then a lot of them, oh, and that one's pretty cool looking, and a lot of them just have roots, which means I can plant them. This one I believe, was a leaf. Where's the camera? Where am I? There we go. Was a leaf that I had picked up from a store. And, oh, bug on me. Where am I now? Leaf that I had picked up from the store when I had bought some of these. And I was like, well, let's see if it propagates. And it's working on it. Some of them take a lot longer than others, so that's just the name of the game. So I'll pause and get to the rack of potted succulents. Okay, here are my little pots of succulents. You can see a lot of them have, you know, turned red in the sun. And I have right back over here in this pot, if I can focus, you can see some little babies growing on some stalks right there and right there. The other two, not so much, but it is what it is. This purple one is one that I keep in my house near the kitchen often. It's really in shade right now. And seems to have some white stuff on the leaf. I don't know what that is. These are also stalks that I had cut some of the heads off, and I let them reroot. They were like middle of the stalks. They weren't the top and they weren't the roots. So they were just kind of fending for themselves for whatever they could do. Right here, a little baby grew. That's really neat to see. And then if we turn it a little bit, I have one where the stalk has died. Right next to it, I think. Or, yep, the stalk has died. It had one leaf, which was propagating something, and that leaf is doing well, and the little baby is still doing well. So I'm real happy, but, you know, the others, oh well. And then over here, focus, some little ones that I kind of rooted already with either roots or babies. This is the one I found from that store and was like, I'm gonna do this. And so it started, it actually started rooting, growing some roots at that point, and so I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. It was one of those real big leaves, and I was like, oh, well, this needs help anyways. Oh, and if we look down here, we have this guy. We lost one. Seems to be doing okay. For no reason. Sometimes it happens. And then, if we get up here, I have my burro's tail, which is so cool. It's grown a lot. I was kind of hoping that right around here-ish, a new stalk or something would have grown off of it, where Katie had pulled a few off of the little leaves off, but no, and that's fine. It's growing really long. It was probably like this long when I bought it. So what you're seeing here is where, what you're seeing right here, I believe is where I hadn't been getting it enough sun. So I've been turning this thing so that this side gets sun now. Lesson learned. This thing, I don't know, I bought it. I really don't love it. I just think it's just interesting. It bloomed, I guess. I'm not really sure what this is. If they're good blooms or done blooms, they might bloom. We'll see. And then again, another one of those, I think, California sunsets right there. And then another one of those tall ones that I had in one pot. One pot's doing good, one pot doesn't like what its setup is, so. And then here's more of that hanging vining sedum. And I'm just gonna try and, you know, get it to fill out a little bit, see what we do. Whenever some of the leaves fall off of the other one, I just pop them in there, and you can kind of see in there somewhere. Down there, some new ones starting. So, let's see if I can get a better view of that. There. Is that it? Yeah. Some new ones down there. So, I hope I zoomed in on the right spot. Yeah, there. That little guy. Another one. Right there-ish. So, yeah. Right there. Where's my finger? Right there. And right there. Pretty neat. So, yay! So that's almost it. Okay, and here we have my most favorite of all. These are all doing pretty well. Again, the lime green sedum has filled in. This hanging sedum isn't doing that well in this one, which, you know, is interesting. I'm thinking that it just likes more air around its roots, so that's why it likes the rockier pot better. But that's why I'm doing all these different to learn and see what works with what. And this one over here, which similar to the California Sunset one, it's I forget what it's called, and this could even be the California Sunset, and I'm calling the other one the wrong name, but they're very similar plants. They do very similar things, except the freckles on there, I think it got sunburnt. Those were on there when I bought it at the store, so it might have just been out in the sun or something, or damaged by cold, don't know. Again, everything that I planted in this when I planted it was green, and it's now got a rainbow of colors to it. I'm really loving it, and you know, you see them all just kind of changing. These were more blue, these were more of a sagey green like these, and these were more lime. Even this got the little orange pink tips on it, so that's really neat. And then there's this guy. I don't have anything on the top, obviously. It's just a weird little one. This was left over from the actual leftovers from what I made for my mom. And another one that has changed colors. A lot of these were in other things. Some of them were even in this one right here. And they got a little too crowded, and so I had to pull some of them out. And what I think I'm going to be doing, see, there's another one over here that is just like this one here. There were two in there, and this one was like not happy. So I did this just to get them some of their own space, and I think what I'm going to do is move the rosette types up to the top and have them kind of grow up and out, and do some more of the hanging and fill in kind of ones in the sides. But I'm not too worried. I'm just kind of letting it do what it does, and when I get around to it, I get around to it. Oh, disgusting trash all over the place. We don't clean up after ourselves, obviously. So, it's another day in the life.